Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Wow, beautiful morning, but it does have clouds, and the weather forecast is for around 21 with some possibility of showers compared to the other days we've had just in the last 2 days. Wow, where it's been sort of hot. Anyway, that's what weather is, that's what life is, it's the uncertainties. And I'm Ros Boundy, Psychic Medium, helping you with guidance through the cards to gain a little more clarity around what your connection is with your life and through spirit guidance as well. So we do open ourselves to that is the connection of body, mind, and spirit. Okay, so let's go ahead to the cards now and see what they have for us. And before I do that, good morning, Keza. Morning, Ros and all. Lovely to see you here, Keza. And I'm just going to pop up as well the website so that it's going to be at the front, front, the start of the comments if it turns up in YouTube and the one Facebook. That's the business page, so that'll show up there. Won't show up in the profile. Unfortunately, Facebook doesn't let you do that. Unless, of course, it does on the professional profile. I don't know. I lose track of what changes they've done. Here we go to the cards. What I'm using today is the Rana George. Oh, whoops. I need to use my pointer. Here we go. Mum's Women's Agricultural Bureau letter opener again. At least it's getting some use for something. It doesn't open letters anymore. Although I did open a letter with it the other day. I received one in the mail. Was only a notification of something, not anything interesting. Rana George Lenormand deck, and the artist is Khalil French. Beautiful artwork, beautiful deck. It's got some wonderful interpretations in it that are along the Eastern understandings, like around the Lebanon and that type of thing. And a gorgeous guidebook. So I am going to use the guidebook because it's still honouring her interpretations and the others within the book that she's asked for help with interpretations. I think this is the one where we've got, could be 2, 3 or 4 interpretations. I'll run them together this time, but it is a Saturday. We've got a little bit of time. Okay, well, I have just a little bit. Here we are with the start of these. I'm going to zoom it in a little bit closer at the moment now because they're very hard to see. They are a smaller card. Okay, and I'll move that out the way. On the weekends, I don't use the owl cards. I just let them be on that Friday sentiment for the 2 days. So it effectively gets 3 days out of that last card of the week. Now, here we go with the 5, which is the tree. It's got 7 of hearts as the corresponding playing deck. You can see that this is what it relates to because they've put it as a card there. So we know that that's relevant for if you haven't got a Lenormand deck, you can at least put on a straight playing deck if you need to, card 5 tree. And you could do the same here. And this is our theme for the day today, okay? I nearly forgot to mention that. Here's our theme for the day today is tree. And we're moving over into the home space, which is card 38, and this is incense. So it's probably not something everyone's familiar with, but most in the woo-woo esoteric would know that this is an incense burner. And it's the steamy look. It's beautiful. The perfume's wonderful. Anyway, card 38 for our home space. And move across to our workspace, card 33, which is key, and that is 8 diamonds for the playing deck. So we know that clearly now. So in our workspace, this is the card for today for work. Okay, key, very appropriate, isn't it? So I'm going to I have zoomed into them. I'm going to grab the guidebook in a sec and we'll start the reading. But Fiona has popped in. Good morning, Ros Gurley, and all around the globe, a good afternoon or a good evening. Good morning to you, Fiona. Lovely to see you. It is early-ish, even though 9 o'clock. I'm a bit later than usual. I have begun that honouring of the time that my body is ready to get up and do what I need to in a day, and for flexibility around other options and things that might be coming up moving into the future. There is life change of circumstances, so I'm honouring that. Okay, now here we go. I'm just going to shift that out of the way for the moment. With the tree, as you can see, this one is it's pretty much a single tree on its own out there on the hill. So it's a little different. I mean, I suppose the Gilded Reverie has it as a single tree as well. It's representative of all the tree energies that we see. So this one looks a little more stark. It doesn't look as lush underneath where our Gilded Breviary does. But you look at the canopy and how beautiful the spread is, the protection and shade it might offer animals and creatures that are in the field or around the grasses. It's just beautiful. I like the way it's depicted. So there we go with our tree, and I'm just swapping the pointer into my other hand while I put up the numerology because Fiona's got it done. We're on a day number of 9, and the numbers themselves of the cards come up to a 10, so or 1. So even adding that to the 9, it's a 10, comes back to 1. So we're on the start of a new day, new journey, as something that really is new. And with the full moon energy that happened yesterday, we're still in the flush of that. So we can look forward to expansion, can't we? And the start of what is the next level of our journey. And I can see that Fiona's saying good morning, and thank you to Keza for the greeting. So that's wonderful, thank you. And Keza's responding back to Fiona with that, and thank you for the numbers. And I totally support that. Big thank you. Thank you, Fiona. Now, with the tree, what we have here is standing tall. Now, I'll just put it there. Standing tall and strong, the tree has withstood many centuries through changing generations and civilizations. This cedar tree is firmly rooted, unwavering, branching out, and always growing proud, slowly but surely, even on a slope. So that explains how it's depicted, why. Okay, now there is 2 quotes here that that Rana puts in with this. It is the pine tree seems to listen, the fir tree to wait, and both without impatience. That's Friedrich Nietzsche. And trees are poems that earth writes upon the sky. Oh, that's a beautiful one. That's Khalil Gibran, a wonderful philosopher. I like reading his material. In a reading, the tree's a card used for physical, spiritual, and mental health. Just look at the surrounding cards to describe the situation. So, another reference, it is the grand tableau that these cards are frequently used for, and that's how they interpret, is using the grand tableau layout. A reminder to those that don't know, the grand tableau is grand tableau, grand table. It's all 36 cards laid out on the table, and they're read integratedly. Yeah. So, in a reading, the tree brings patience, fortitude, tolerance, vitality, and stamina. It can also mean being rooted, branching out, holding on, slow and steady, grounding, reaching out, and connecting. It tells us to endure the situation for a while and give it some time. The tree also connects us with our ancestors, our family, and the people around us. Aha. Now, this guidebook is not the one that has the 2 to 3 readings. That's one of the other ones. This one is just the one reading, and then it gives examples of readings so you can work it in. Now, the Rana George Lenormand tree, the cedar tree of Lebanon, is one of the most famous trees from ancient times. It's been prized for its high-quality timber, oils, and resins for thousands of years. It's on the Lebanese flag and the national emblem of Lebanon. Cedar helped the Phoenicians acquire a reputation for having the best fleet of ships. Cedar was used to build temples and thrones for pharaohs and kings. The oldest surviving cedar trees on the slopes of Mount Lebanon are around 2,500 years old. Wow. So it is something that's very important for our networking and connecting with each other and the people that we have around us. And for some reason, the webcam over the table isn't working, so I'm still pointing to the tree card. I have no idea why that's not working. Let me just go and poke it in and out again. Ah, there. Is it going again? Yes, no. I've got a slow system again. That's a bummer. I'll just point the card, the letter opener to the one card because it's going to keep playing up. So, what I've got now, before we move on to the next, as our theme for the day today, that is indicating that we need to be grounded, that we can take our time. We are absorbing the nutrients we need. We're absorbing from our surroundings what we need to really lush out those branches and be the best tree that we can be, so to speak. Be the best you that you can be, and that you are going to be. Oh, excuse me, I had to swallow them. And it's the vitality, it's all of that helps us to connect and network. Because remember the roots and how deep it goes back into our ancestry as well. That is our genetic lineage, the physical lineage, as well as the spiritual connection that we have in past lives and all that creates who we are. Who are we? And here we are steadfast, and we are able to connect and be who we are with the family and people we need to be. Okay, so do it to the best that you can. Okay, now I've dropped my pointer. Hold on, dive down. Oh, the floor is a long way down, isn't it? Here we go. Instead of waving this thing around, I'm pointing to the one I'm talking about, card 38. You add that together, it's 11, angelic, incense, beautiful connection with spirit. Okay, now here we go. Keza has mentioned, I just bought a new car. Isn't that fantastic? What great news. And I hope that you've chosen a wonderful car that really suits your style, your driving comfort, and all the rest of it, and will last a long time. And Keza saying congrats on the new car for Keza from Fiona. Lovely. And of course the thank you from Keza. There we go. I like doing the comments up on the screen. Okay, now we're back to the incense burner. It's a classic vintage Arabian mubkara. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's how it's spelled. An incense burner, and it fills a room with the smoke of the burning frankincense, clearing the evil eye and dispersing any negativity. So the two quotes that are here: better do a good deed near at home than go far away to burn incense, which is a Chinese proverb. Not quite sure what that means, needs some thought. The incense is powerful and provocative, whether Buddhist or Catholic. And that's one from David Bowie, and I know that from experience. I really enjoy using incense for my meditation times. Right, I don't use it as much anymore because I've got the constant dog awareness factor. I prefer different ways of doing my meditations now, when I get to them. And in a reading, the incense burner card talks about cleaning, clearing, dispersing, saging, and banishing any negative or unwanted energies. It also addresses any type of rituals or practices requiring the use of incense for purging, purifying, offering, conjuring, or summoning. The incense burner card can come up in a very direct way to say, clean up. Or it may simply be trying to bring your attention to something that needs to be cleared out. It also can be calling you to change the mood in a room, or disperse a certain fragrance for a desired purpose, such as peace, serenity, passion, or excitement. This is the smoke and fume card. So this card is part of the 4 extra cards. It's not necessary to include it in your deck unless you work with incense cleaning and clearing. So that's part of what our guidance is. It's not a necessary card, but I do include them because she has them in her specific energy of her deck. So I want to include them. Now, her explanation of the Rana George Lenormand incense burner. I work with Bakur incense a lot, so there's a slightly different name for it. So it was very important for me to include a warding card combining the incense burner and the evil eye talisman. The blue evil eye symbol goes back 5,000 years, and I'm assuming that is probably this symbol that's in there somewhere. Or it could be on the platter. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll take it as being this. That's the evil. Oh, there it is. It's sitting behind. Duh. There's the evil eye behind the incense burner. We find things eventually. The blue evil eye symbol goes back 5,000 years. The eye talisman has spread from early Mesopotamia to Europe and beyond. It wards off all evil and negativity, and it's used in most religions. It's still in strong use on doors, rooms, cars, jewellery, pottery, art and decoration. I always have it on me in one form or another. Next time you see me come up and ask me about it, I'll show you how I have it on that day. Burning incense is a powerful tool to change a mood or energy in any room. Okay, so that's what she's given as the explanation of how the card is depicted and why. Oops, I shifted that. Let's just point to it that way. Okay, or I do it from the centre and point that way. Okay, so from that we can gain the energy is being shown as the incense burner, which is giving us, well, I think it's the direction that we need to be clearing out something in our home space, because this is home. So there may be a particular room that you're wanting to really give an energetic cleanse to, as well as you probably could be cleaning it up as well. Really give it a spring clean and focus on one room. Or it could be just the whole house. It just depends what your energy levels are like physically. But it certainly is indicating that choose a fragrance of, not just a frankincense. You could choose any fragrance you like from what's available in your incense stock and just burn it gently. Now, I sometimes use an essential oil warmer so that is diffusing the perfumes and the energetics of the essential oil. You may do it in that way because it's a very similar energetics and way that it works in that cleansing and clearing and, being that connection with the spirit cleansing that we're doing here. So choose which way you prefer. See, even with the dogs, the essential oils, still got to be a bit careful. So choose wisely. What are you wanting as your outcome, and what sort of energy, what sort of feeling are you wanting in your space today? And it does depend a bit on purpose, doesn't it? So bring that to your mind as you're putting it into, your burner or into your oil warmer. And, even some of the commercial stuff, well, no, actually, I think, therapeutic grade essential oils and good quality incense is the only way to do it, really, okay, in that context. So get going with that and have an enjoyable day with your incense and whatever you're choosing to do within that space, whether it's meditation or getting into your arts in one form or another. It could be painting, it could be singing, it could be music, it could be toning, it could be just meditation, whatever you choose. And bring your family to join in with you on that. You're doing some charts, anything. It's a wonderful energy when that's shared. Okay, now we're going to move over to card 33, which is the key, and this is in the workspace. So we're opening some doors or closing some, who knows, because a key works both ways. It can lock and unlock. Okay, so the energies of this one in our workspace, well, we'll figure that part out. We'll do the interpretation after. We'll go through what Rana has here as her explanations. So a mysterious golden key adorned with the flower of life pattern, encrusted with 3 emeralds and attached to a thick blue tassel, lays on a wooden table waiting to be picked up. So that's what we have as the depiction, the art. So the 2 quotes, any idea to be suggestive must come to the individual with the force of revelation. Don't know why why these quotes are in here actually. That's William James and Niels Bohr. Every great and deep difficulty bears in itself its own solution. It forces us to change our thinking in order to find it. And that, I think, is the key. Okay, that's why his was included, I would say. Okay, so when you have the key, you have the solution, the opening, the answer, and the way out. The key is your revelation, a lightning bolt, and your inspiration. When the key comes up in a reading, pay attention. It's the sign trying to point you to something, towards something important. So it can be to validate an issue or to highlight a karmic event. It is that yes card and that you got this card. Okay, so there could be a question in your mind around your workspace that you're thinking, is there as a yes and a no question? Well, that question is going to be answered with a yes. You've got your key, you've got the answer. And it certainly can bring that forward by you stepping through that door and accepting the answer as well. We may sometimes be shown what the answers are and, do all of our research and everything and homework and get things in place for what's next in our work, and we still reject it. We have that choice. We still have free will. But this is saying yes to whatever is most uppermost as far as your work goes, and trust that Spirit are going to connect you with what you are meant to be doing, or who you are meant to be within that situation, and how you're going to deal with things. Okay, so hold that key and use it appropriately, open or shut. It definitely is a strong indication for this card that it does, pretty much from the sound of how Rana's interpreted it, that it is a yes. Okay, just to keep moving on that. As our home space gels it for us that the key really is within ourselves as we are living our life. And we are needing to every so often spend the time privately, because home space is private, privately in that connection with Spirit to guide us as to what is the bigger picture that we have, being our groundedness of that tree energy, and connecting with others. How are we doing it? Why are we doing it? What are we doing? And, the where, what, how, whatever those questions are, them. We ask ourselves it a lot without even knowing. A lot of it's subconscious, because that's what's connected to our core being, isn't it? We do have those inner questions at times that we don't always understand. And I forgot to put that. Let's go back to that key, because what I've just forgotten is the Rana George Lenormand key, the explanation of why she's included the key. The key is a very important card for me, as the flower of life symbolises all possibilities and potentials in our lives. It encompasses all shapes, including the sacred geometry and Platonic solids, as well as the Kabbalistic tree of life. This image is the key to our universe and the key to our life and the entire pattern that falls into it. The flower of life is found across the world and throughout the centuries of many civilizations and generations. The 3 emeralds on my key represent the emerald tablets, also known as the Smaragdine tablet, which I have no idea what that is. I'm going to be looking that one up, which is said to hold the key to our consciousness and the sum of all knowledge for those able to understand it. That almost sounds like could be relevant as similar to the Akashic records. Don't know, but I'll be looking that one up as soon as we finish. Okay, so there we go. That's the card reading for today. That's the energetics of how Spirit has spoken through the cards, through me, in whatever way that you've heard, through your own spirit guides, okay? And that is the most important part, is the precedence of you and your connection with your spiritual guidance, okay? Trust that you are on the right pathway in how you are walking your journey, okay? So thank you so much for being here today. And Keza, thank you. Have an amazing day to all. And to each and every one of you, whether you've watched this as the live stream or whether you're watching it in replay, thank you. And keep being the best you that you can be. And I'll see you tomorrow sometime. Namaste.